Okay, so I mean, this might dismay some people, especially people who are waiting for my mathematics lessons videos and stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I'll be more to the point. Um, Life gets miserable sometimes. You know, there's going to be times, there's going to be things about what happens to you, things going on in your mind that disgust you, terrify you, depress you, or make you angry and stuff. Make you feel hopeless. Things that break you and stuff. Um, Things that terrify you. Um, Things that just badly confuse you sometimes. Um, and but what makes all the difference is your willingness to not always just fight it and stuff. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to explore where to explore where those feelings are taking you and figure out how you're going to utilize that energy and stuff. But I tell you, if you keep taking that energy and forcing the issue with it and stuff, it's just going to be the never ending roller coaster and stuff that you'll never be able to get off of. You become your own roller coaster, basically. Um, and that's miserable. You know, I see people who stayed stuck in that roller coaster and stuff who never recovered and stuff, perpetually on psychiatric meds, um, always at risk of of getting arrested, going to court, going to jail and stuff. Um, People who uh, are in sort of like involuntary solitude, isolation and stuff with no freedom. Um, People who uh, get beaten up and stuff, spit on, humiliated and stuff, um, fired and stuff for the things that they've done, just out of you know what they call coming from a bad place and stuff, which is a funny like kind of colloquial reference tag for like a more complex psychological or medical thing going on related to conduct disorder and stuff. But we'll let the I'm letting the faith groups fly in that one and stuff because they just don't know any better and stuff. They can't always like you know it people just aren't aren't always like that, and so yeah, but so like but if you're always but going back to the point, like if you're always so avoidance of your feelings and stuff, then you're not giving your mind a chance to maybe try get some exercise and stuff, and maybe um and you have to look at it as kind of like cheap energy and stuff to do something, um and which can sometimes be helpful because again, what you do with your energy makes all the difference. It's going to determine whether you stay as who you are and what you're doing, and whether you've made the change and you can look back and say, yeah, I'm different stuff. I'm doing better. That's one of the places where you can choose um, high or low for yourself. And you have to be willing to explore the world of choosing high. or just maintaining and stuff. And maybe you're just you have such a peaceful, happy life and stuff, and everything's wonderful. You have no reason to make any changes right now, and that's good and stuff. In that case, I mean, my channel probably has not much value to you, but oh well. Um, yeah. So I think stopping here would keep things easy on you and stuff, and comfortable and convenient and stuff, and you can you know maybe think about that and stuff. But I don't think that's like if you have an emotional scar and stuff, like you're emotionally damaged and stuff, or you got twisted up in knots over something and you never recovered, you shouldn't like you shouldn't keep on with it. You should address it as soon as possible and stuff. Um, could cost like honestly it could cost you everything, and that's my closer for this.